I'm Holly.
And I'm Bridget.
And this
is Girls Next Level.
Welcome back to Girls Next Level, everybody. Why do I feel like it's been a million years since we recorded like a main podcast?
Well, because we've been recording some other things. Like we've been doing a bunch of slumber parties. We had an emergency slumber party. We had an interview.
How's your summer going? How is summer summering?
It's good. It's been productive, which I love.
Yeah.
Working towards new projects and working on my tan.
Nice. I love it. I'm at this weird in-between place where it's like nothing bad's happening. Like it's all good stuff. But I feel like there's a lot of change and like upheaval in my life in different areas, or like things I really want to change, and nothing bad, like it's all good stuff. But I feel kind of weird right now. I feel like I'm in this weird influx place. I can't explain it.
It's funny that you say that because I feel it coming from you.
I thought you were going to say you felt it too, like for yourself.
No,
How do you feel it coming from me? Tell me.
I don't know. I don't know how to put it into words.
That's so weird.
I just feel like what is even the best word I would describe it? Like almost like a frustration or like an irritation or something, but like not in a negative way.
Yeah, it's just like I know I'm getting to good stuff. It's nothing bad, but it's almost like the getting to it is like weird, or like I don't know if I'm doing it right. Yeah, I'm a little on edge because of it.
Yeah.
But it's nothing bad.
Yeah.
But it's just I just want to talk about it because it's an odd space. Like, I don't remember the last time I was really in a space like this. I think in the past, during times of like transition in my life, it's always been so much more unsure. Like, I didn't know what was coming next or what was the next thing. So it was like scarier.
Yeah.
And this isn't scary. I just feel odd for some reason.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But it's all good stuff.
No, totally good stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
It's just strange. So today we're doing deleted scenes. We're going over the deleted scenes on the season 2 DVD. But if you guys don't have access to the DVDs, one of our kind Good Samaritan fans actually uploaded these to YouTube. So catch them before they get copyrighted. And the way you can find them is you go to our Girls Next Door YouTube and go to playlists. And I put it on the clips playlist. It's on there, so you'll be able to find their page if you can't see them. And I'm going to let you take the lead, Bridget, as far as like what scenes we're talking about when, because I had to actually go to this YouTube to see it because like my external DVD player broke and like one of the discs got caught. So I don't know if I have them in the right order.
And the first one is Foreplay.
Yes, and this was actually recorded in season 1. It was one of the first things we ever recorded. I believe we've talked about it before. It was you and Kendra went to this place called Mount Asia that's not there anymore. It was in the valley, but it was this really cute like mini golf place with like bumper boats and I think a Farrell's ice cream parlor.
Yes.
And it was so cute. And there's not like much drama or anything in this scene, but it's a very cute scene. I love my outfit with the pink Playboy cottontail purse and yellow dress. It's like a yellow t-shirt dress.
I love my outfit too. And it's just simple, like shorts like I'm wearing today, like the little dolphin style shorts and a pink Playboy top.
Well, we all three look very cute and coordinated, and I don't think we planned it. It was just we all kind of like instinctively did that.
Yeah.
And we're playing mini golf, and the way they cut us in saying, whoa, when we're just hitting a ball is kind of funny. They just cut our voices in there.
I thought it was edited really cute, and I just remember having a lot of fun that day. Yeah. I remember us all getting along really well.
We were all getting along and having so much fun, and I feel like maybe that's why they didn't use this scene.
That's what I think too.
Because they wanted to establish like a me versus Kendra thing from episode 1.
Yeah.
And
I feel like it's why this never got used, because in season 1, they're definitely trying to pit us all like against each other, and like you want us gone, and you know Kendra's competitive, and I just want playmate, and you know, and I'm drugging the girls or whatever, you know, and all this stuff, and it didn't fit their narrative of all three of us like having a time away from Hef and just enjoying each other's company and getting along.
And you know what else? As I watched this, is I felt like it was very real toward the three of our personalities in the most positive way, but not the way they decided to portray us. Like, I'm the nerdy one, you're the fun one, and Kendra's like the reactive, sporty one. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that was very true to life, but it wasn't where they decided to go with our personalities. And not that I'm complaining, because obviously at the end of the day, everything worked out fine. But I watch this scene and I get a little sad because I'm so myself in this scene and just allowed to be myself, like just nerdy girl. And I think about like what if I would have been just allowed to be that on the show? And then I wouldn't have had this weird character that I felt like I either had to live up to or fight against for the rest of my life.
Right.
Like, I wonder what that would have been like.
Yeah.
Because if you want to know what I'm like in real life, it's a scene.
And you're being ambidextrous. Because Kendra's like, I didn't know you were left-handed. I was like, I was thinking the same thing. And yeah, I wrote love, love, love on this scene.
And I feel like we were a team on this scene. We were like Charlie's Angels, and that just wasn't where they wanted to go with it.
Yeah, and I didn't remember until like I saw it in the scene that we all showed up in a motorhome. Like they got a motorhome for us to go there together in, so that was fun.
So I think we already kind of capped it off. We already kind of talked about it. But at the end of each scene, I want to ask you, why do you think they didn't use this scene?
Yeah. Oh, you know what I did? I didn't put they didn't use it. I just put whether they should have, whether I thought they should have used it or not. But we can do both.
Would you vote yes for this one?
Yes.
That would have been amazing. And I think the reason they didn't use it is because we're all getting along too well. Or I'm probably making myself too important here, but maybe like I'm too nerdy in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we're getting along too well in it, and that's why they didn't use it.
Sad.
And I think it's
Sadsies.
weird. Yeah, I think it's weird it's a deleted scene for season 2 and for Hef's birthday instead of somewhere in season 1 or any other episode. Like, why that episode? Is it a deleted scene?
I don't know.
Is it because we complained about not being a deleted scene in season 1? And
maybe they dug it out. Because it's cute footage.
I think so too. All right, the next one is for the same episode, but it's called The Pajama Game.
Yes.
And it's Brian Alea, and he is showing a new butler named Bill how to do Hef's pajamas.
And this is very reminiscent of what they initially wanted the show to be before it became about the girls, which was upstairs, downstairs, all about the staff and how do they serve Hef.
Brian always strikes me as very frantic in all these scenes.
Yeah, he's probably a little nervous being on camera in the beginning, maybe.
Yeah. No, but I mean, well, maybe later it chills out because we're only on season 2, but I feel like all the scenes with Brian, he's very frantic.
Yeah.
It has to be like this and like just and running around, and I think maybe his job really did entail him to be like running around all over the place, you know.
And the butler he's talking to, was this the one that slept with a playmate, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I don't know.
I'll bleep the name, but
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I could be wrong.
And he says Duchess is so vicious.
She is. And they're playing like this classical British, like upper crust music in the background because we're dealing with butlers here.
Yeah. And he's talking about how Hef's pajamas, no fraying, check all the buttons and the snaps are still attached, make sure they're color coordinated. And they also show the pink and blue flannel pajamas.
Yeah.
In this.
And this is one of the times when you're actually hearing like one of the dog's real individual barks, because I'm used to hearing the whole cacophony of like all my dogs dubbed over everything.
Yeah. And he talks about the suits and how to know if they're clean or not clean.
And they're so fastidious about the silk pajamas, like look for fraying and stuff like that. But then the flannels, like half of the flannels are faded as fuck and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, that's so true. Because those are for us.
Yeah, the flannel pajamas are like Fruit Stripes gum. Like they lose their flavor like immediately. They're like lose all their color.
Yeah, and then he goes into the drawer and opens it up and talks about the handkerchiefs and the socks and the boxers. And I'm actually surprised that Hef was okay with this. Like the world seeing his boxers and
it just looks so messy. And back to the pajamas, he says, these pink pajamas are what the girls use or if he has a guest that stays over. And I can see what he's saying because that was like the case for so many years. But part of me is like vaguely offended because we didn't have like girls staying over to the point where they would like be in the bedroom and grab a pair of those pajamas at that point.
Right. Yeah.
So that really wasn't happening anymore.
And then he refers to the shelf that we've talked about a lot of times on this show, which is the personal shelf of Hef's, where he has like the pictures of the girls that are there staying and a little card about each of them and his schedule and all that stuff. He refers to that whole shelf, and you kind of see it here in that.
Yeah, you see like the disposable cameras that we know took all the pictures in the limo and at the clubs. And I wrote in the note back to the sock drawer, Hef's sock drawer is sad. Because it's like the socks aren't even folded in an attractive manner. They're just all balled up and tossed in there.
Yeah.
Like it's not really up to the standards of like a professional closet organizer of today.
Yeah, that is true. And then they go up to the 3rd floor. And he says, just don't look down, just keep walking. I wonder what scarred Brian, what he's seen before on accident.
Oh, yeah, like random creepy photos and shit. Yeah. Back to the boxers. Sorry, I'm still like going back. I think people would be interested to know that unless Hef was like wearing jeans or like a suit to go out, like he didn't usually wear underwear during the day because it was just like his pajamas.
Right.
Fun fact. What you were dying to learn today.
Yeah. It's like the meme again. Nobody.
Yeah.
Holly. He didn't wear underwear.
Yeah, I didn't wear underwear. Also, I think one of the reasons I was like low key offended when he's like, "Oh, and these pajamas are for like a guest if they come over," is like I always felt so like invisible in that relationship, or what the status of the relationship even was. I felt people didn't really know. And I feel like it's the equivalent of today. Like if you have a guy who like won't post you on Instagram, it's that same kind of like icky feeling.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
So should they have used that scene? Do you know why they didn't?
I say no. I don't think they should have used the scene. I think it was way too long and boring.
Yeah.
It was like, I looked at the time on it because I was like, God, how long is this scene going on for? And it was like over 3 minutes long.
It's kind of perfect for what it is. Like when you think about having a deleted scene on a DVD, that is the kind of detail that somebody who's looking for a deleted scene would like. So it's kind of perfect where it is.
Yeah.
I agree. They shouldn't have used it. I feel like the reason they didn't is it's just like you said, it's too long, but also it's more what they were trying to do with the show before it was even about us. I feel like it's probably an old scene, like along with Mount Asia, that's really was shot in season 1.
I think so too. I think that they shot that with the intention of the first ideas in mind. I got another Hungry Root delivery and I'm loving it. I'm loving getting these deliveries. I know I've told you guys before that I'm super frugal as far as like delivery services and things like that, but getting groceries and meal items already sent to the house has been like a game changer. And one of the things I love about Hungry Root is that I'm able to go in. First of all, they suggest the recipes and all the ingredients and everything, which I love because I don't have to think about it. But I also am a very particular eater and I can go in and customize each recipe to my taste. So if there's an ingredient or a spice, anything that I don't like in there, I can substitute it out or just have it removed altogether. And you get credits for all of the ingredients. And so if I take something out, I can add something else in, like maybe a little side of chocolate chip cookies. Hungry Root is the easiest way to eat healthy. They send you fresh, high-quality groceries, simple, delicious recipes, and essential supplements. It's like having someone else do all the planning and shopping so you don't even have to think about it. Hungry Root gets to know your personal health goals, dietary restrictions, favorite foods, how much time you want to spend cooking, and more. Then they build you a personalized cart with all your grocery needs for the week, including easy 4-ingredient recipes to put those groceries to use. I just got my first Hungry Root package and I am obsessed. I'm particularly impressed with their meat quality. I got grass-fed beef, hamburger patties, chicken, and they also threw in like pickles and all these amazing snacks that I love. So I couldn't be more in love with it. Oh, and I got like a spinach artichoke dip too. I got a ton of stuff, but so many good things. Right now, Hungry Root is offering Girls Next Level listeners 40% off your first delivery and free veggies for life. Just go to hungryroot.com/nextlevel to get 40% off your first delivery and get your free veggies. That's hungryroot.com/nextlevel. Don't forget to use our link so they know that we sent you. Okay, the next one is called The Guest Is Yet to Come. And this is me showing Hef the guest house, which I wondered when we watched in season 1, episode 9, where I'm redoing the guest house. I'm like, they never give a reveal. Yeah. How lame. But here's the reveal. It just never got used, and we can get to why we think it wasn't used when we're done talking about it. Did you see we're sitting in the Great Hall when Hef comes down, and do you see that Archie is sitting right at my feet again?
Yes, I noticed that.
It's weird because I did not think anything of this at the time. But
yeah, but he was like
back,
a spirit guide following you, and you didn't even notice.
It feels like it, yes.
And then as Hef comes down the stairs, I cringe because there's a voiceover of me saying, baby! And it's like in my high-pitched voice. And it's so annoying.
So we're walking out to the guest house, and you're like, oh, I brought flashcards for what the rooms used to look like just in case, which I thought was a brilliant idea.
Well, it really is, because I don't think Hef ever went out to the guest house. So he's honestly probably not going to have much of a frame of reference. And he just doesn't really care about stuff like that. Yeah. So he just like wouldn't know. And Hef says something like, I love it. And I think people who are watching the show probably think that's sincere, but I think he was being sarcastic. Like, I love it. Like, why the fuck would I care? And I'm not...
I took it as sincere and that he really thought that was a great idea because I was thinking, I love it too. That's a great idea.
And I'm not loving what the rooms look like on camera, but it's better than what the rooms looked like before. Like, I really have to tell, like, if any of you guys are watching this deleted scene and thinking, Holly, you decorate rooms ugly, like, it was because I had no budget, and it truly was so much better than what was there before.
Yeah.
Before was just so depressing.
Drab and country.
Yeah.
And then he's already, like, criticizing, like, oh, rearrange these areas a little crowded. And
yeah, which I agree with part of it. Like, some of it was just too much, like, memorabilia shoved into a corner.
And that, let's see, which one? One of the rooms that you're in, the one with the fireplace and stuff. That's the room that I stayed in when my room was being, like, redone upstairs. And the Mean Girls were still there. Like, the first little renovation they got to do. And I loved it so much in that room. I did not want to leave.
I bet it was so cozy.
Oh, it was so cozy. And I felt so good being away from the Mean Girls, like, out in my own little house. And I did not want... I even asked, can I just stay out here? And Hef was so offended that I would want to stay out there.
That is so funny.
You would think he would have leapt at the chance.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to pay
totally.
rent on room 3
yeah,
anymore. Yeah, it's all yours. Stay in the guest house.
Yeah, he had a real big hang up, as I would find out toward the tail end of our relationship, about who stayed where as far as house, guest house, bunny house.
Yeah, ugh. He was not happy with that request.
I have to keep reiterating as I'm giving him the tour that everything was free, because I can't have him thinking I spent money.
Well, because he's like, these are some real vintage Playboy things here you've got on the wall.
Yeah.
And you're like, I bought them myself.
Yeah, it was just stuff I bought myself on eBay and, like, found as a bargain and stuff, but I had to keep reminding him I didn't spend any of his money on this. And then when we're in the final room and I'm talking about the hardwood floor and how this was just there in the house, like, I just ripped up the carpets and we refinished the floors, he goes, unbelievable. And I have to assure you guys, like, he was very sincere in that moment. Like, he could not believe that we had these nice floors under the carpet.
Well, he didn't believe it was in my room either. I'm like, I want to take this nasty carpet out and redo the hardwood floors that are underneath. He's like, what do you mean, what hardwood floors?
Like, what did he think was under there? Cardboard?
I don't know.
It was so funny.
But that room was done, like, super cute, shabby chic style and stuff. And that's the room that I stayed in when I initially came and tested. Oh. And I had to share it. It has the 2 twin beds in there. I had to share it with Stacy Fusen.
Oh, yeah. So why do you think they didn't use this scene? And do you think they should have?
I think it should have been included. And I think it should have been, and I know it wasn't, okay, so I think the reason they didn't use it is because the reveal wasn't done in time for it to go with where it needed to go.
I think they should have used it. I think it would have been perfect at the end of episode 9 because it shows me and Hef kind of having a conflict, and then I'm working on the room, and it would have been a good resolution. Like, oh, Hef is so thrilled about these hardwood floors now. See, it was all worth it.
But it wasn't ready yet, was it?
I don't remember. It may or may not have been. I think it would have been ready to plug in during season 1.
Oh.
But I think the reason they didn't use it was because Kendra's not in the scene. 100%, I think that's why.
And she probably was invited to come out and do it because we never did anything without everybody being included, or supposedly.
Yeah.
That's why it was so hurtful when I didn't get to get the tennis tournament thing and stuff like that, because I know that's not just something that happens on accident. Next one is Almost Busted, and it's me trying to hide the giant cake from Hef. We don't know that yet, but I'm going outside to go get that cake and get it delivered from the Playmate house over to the mansion for that night's party. And Hef, who's usually, like, in his room or in the office upstairs somewhere or scrapbooking or something, is all of a sudden greets me at the front door. He's outside of all places. Like, what the fuck is he doing outside?
I can tell you before we even get to the end of this scene and our conclusion that this is one I think they should have used if they had time, because I remember when we were reviewing the Hef birthday episodes, I brought that up to you. I'm like, I think this episode would have been better if we would have seen a little more involvement on, like, how did you get the cake from here to here? And when you rolled backwards, I feel like it would have made everything more suspenseful and fun.
Definitely.
So I would have liked to see this in the episode.
I would have liked to seen it in too, and I think it would have been cute to play this whole, like, cat and mouse game to make it look like Hef's almost seeing it, even if they faked it just for fun. Totally. Because I think it would have been really cute and suspenseful for the show. So I don't care that they didn't use it, but I think it would have been cute in there.
Why do you think they didn't use that scene?
Oh, why not?
Just time, maybe?
Oh, you know what else I think too? What? I think that it would have been cool to play up that drama of him almost seeing it and stuff, and then also play up the part where he was pissed that I was missing later when the cake was being rolled out.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Where is she?
I wonder if they even caught that, though, because sometimes it's hard to get convo at the party, even when you're mic'd up.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, maybe they got it, but it's always tricky.
Why do I think they didn't use it? Yeah. I don't really know. I think that they just wanted to, everybody had like kind of a role in that, and there just wasn't time for it. It would have been too much of a episode devoted to me and my whole thing to make that pan out instead of everybody being in there and it being about Hef.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was probably just timing, but I think they should have used it because I think it would have added to the episode. I remember even when we were watching the episode, I'm like, oh, they're missing a little.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been better to see more drama with trying to hide the cake.
I think it would have been cute. Next one, pasties. I'm worried about my pasties staying on. I say I use like extra strength spirit gum, but I feel like it's going to be like hours before I'm actually doing the striptease, and we're going to be dancing and stuff. And what if they like it like sweaty or what, just come off or whatever?
Do people usually use spirit gum for pasties? Aren't pasties just usually like sticky?
No, you have to use like a spirit gum to put them on.
Well, I guess that makes sense if you have like a permanent pasty and not like a disposable thing.
Yeah, there's disposable sticker ones, but these are, you know, material and rhinestone and stuff. I don't think we needed this at all.
Do you not like the scene?
I just think it's a nothing scene. Like, it's fine if they want to put it in a deleted scene. I think it only pays off. I think we only use that scene if I lost a pasty later.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Routine.
Yeah.
Like, if I took off my bra and all of a sudden there's a whole tit hanging out, then we, like, cut back to that pasty scene.
Yeah.
No wonder she was worried about it.
That makes sense.
But since they didn't come off, I feel like there's no point in using that scene.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess we didn't really need it. And it's very short, even as a deleted scene. It's like flip, and you miss it. I feel that kind of that way about the next scene we're about to get to, too.
Oh, really? I felt like this one was long.
Oh, maybe I just flipped through it. You know what? I have to say, when I was watching these deleted scenes and making notes, I did kind of like flip through Kendra's and not really watch them too much because I was on Kendra Overload that day.
Oh.
Because this day, you know, as we're doing this podcast, we talk to a lot of people behind the scenes. Sometimes they come on for interviews. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're just people, whether we met them or didn't really know them or didn't know them at all. People will come forward to us with like different kinds of information and things like that. And somebody shared with me a transcript of an interview, a confessional interview Kendra did on her spin-off show after I went over to her house. And this was like, she and I stopped talking after this because she was acting weird. I had my theories on why she was acting weird. This transcript kind of confirmed it. And I shared that transcript with you. And in the transcript, Kendra was just talking so much shit about me.
She was hateful.
So hateful and so rude. And this was like long before I wrote my book. Like I hadn't done anything to her other than try to be like supportive. And it was just, she was so rude and so hateful. And it kind of confirmed like my theories that I had this whole time on like why she was so hateful. But it was really rude. And then I went to my ex-husband's beach house that day to take over with the kids. And he randomly told me that he was at some restaurant in the valley the other day with this guy Dingo that Kendra's friends with. And he ran into Kendra, and Kendra came up to him and was like, oh yeah, we've met before. And he was like, have I ever met her? I don't think I've ever met her. I go, yeah, you did a long time ago. Like we all hosted a Super Bowl party together. And he didn't even remember that. And he was like, yeah, she was talking to me like I'm supposed to know who she is. And I don't think I ever met her. And I was just so annoyed by that, because you guys, like, I know you're listening to this podcast, so you think, or it might come off that all we do is talk about old stuff. But when I talk about like Playboy stuff and Girls Next Door stuff, it's limited to this podcast and then any texting you and I do in between shows where we're trying to like clarify or something like that. It's not anything in my day to day. Like I see my ex-husband all the time. Obviously we have kids together, and I would never in a million years think to bring up Kendra or beef I have with Playboy people or old Playboy stuff. Like it just doesn't come up.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even remember if we had beef or what or where that was or who that is or did I even meet her. But I was just so annoyed that day. And I just felt like sometimes I feel like the universe puts stuff in your path for a reason. And I'm like, why is she in my path and being annoying right now?
Yeah.
So I just like, and I had to do the research for this episode and make the notes for this episode. So I just kind of like flipped through her scenes really fast. And I'm like, I have no interest in this.
Well, this one's called Kendra's Rehearsal. And it's Hef's 80th birthday, and Kendra's off on the sidelines trying to figure out what to say to introduce 3-6 Mafia. And she keeps messing it up a bunch of times, and no, not that, and this, and not that, and somebody's trying to help her. And I say, no, it needed to be cut, should not have been in there. It was too long. It's not interesting.
I'm going to say we didn't need it because that's the mood I'm in.
Listen up, renters. Do you ever feel like you're stuck in this loop of rent payments, just watching your money vanish into thin air? It's time to turn that rent game around and start earning some serious rewards. That's where Built Rewards comes in. Built is breaking ground as the first rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. Even if you're still rocking the old school rent check vibes, Built Reward has got your back. They'll mail the check for you. It's like having a personal rent-paying assistant. Every month, you pay your rent and watch the Built points roll in. You can use your points to jet off on a dream vacation because you can put some of the points towards a flight or hotel stay with over 500 airlines and over 700,000 hotels and properties. And you can use your points to sweat it out. You can redeem your points to book fitness studio classes. You can also use your points towards a future rent payment or towards future down payment on a home.
You can pay rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Built points have been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and Bankrate. Earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbuilt.com/nextlevel. That's BILT.com/nextlevel. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Join built.com/nextlevel to start earning points with your rent payments today.
The next one is the most amazing one ever.
Well, this is your entire striptease, which of course they use some of it in the show.
You know what? I think this is still just a teaser of it.
It's not the whole thing.
The full striptease is like an extra special added feature.
Oh, so it's not a deleted scene, but it's on the DVD as something else?
It's in the show. They used it I feel flattered because they did use it a lot. So it's in the show, and then it's a deleted scene, but then it's also in its entirety a special feature.
Oh, that's cool.
On the DVD.
And I think it's so funny because you see so many people standing around watching. And you know who I think is being conscientious? And it's so cute is DeAndre, one of the butlers. He's standing there with his arms crossed. And you can tell he's just trying to look like he's enjoying it, but he's very gentlemanly and he's not enjoying it too much. It's just very cute. At least that's how I interpret it.
He's walking the line.
Yeah.
I want to be respectful
it's
here.
It's very like brotherly. At least that's how I'm. And I noticed Stacy is grabbing your clothes that you discard. Was that something you guys worked out in advance?
It might have been. I'd have to ask her, but she had done that for Dita before. So Dita always had like somebody, like they used to dress as like a French maid or whatever, and they would run up and pick up her stuff so people didn't steal, like run off with her stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Stacy asked, or if I asked Stacy if she would do that or if she just did it. I think I thought that it was safe because we were at the mansion, but it probably wasn't necessarily safe. Like, I could have lost
Nothing
stuff.
is safe.
Yeah.
And the guy standing next to DeAndre looks like P. Diddy.
I didn't even notice.
I don't think it is, but it looks exactly like him.
It could have been. I think that they were at the party.
Yeah. So our questions don't really apply to this one because they did use a shortened version of it in the show. This is more just like extended cut.
Yeah.
But obviously it's good in the show, so thumbs up.
But I did lose I don't know if I told you guys this already or not, but I learned a really fun trick when I was doing the striptease on how to take your bra off with just one hand.
Oh, yeah,
like, just do this, and how to, like, undo the latch back there. So, but when I was watching this, I still get nervous watching this. Like, I'm like,
I bet. I would
am I going to hear the music? Am I going to hear the cue?
The thought of not hearing the music is terrifying.
And one thing I noticed in this that I didn't really notice as much in the first one is you tell Hef, go up and take a picture with her.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I really noticed that so much in the first one, but this one I definitely heard you say it loud and clear in.
Well, I don't think they would have kept it in loud and clear in the original show because they don't want to show me being too supportive.
Oh,
Like,
you're right.
Holly's so jealous. She would never push her man up to take a picture with a half-naked woman.
Right.
Like, it doesn't fit their idea of what I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, and you're right. This one was included, so it's neither here nor there. Next is Birthday Party Grand Prix. And you come in my room and you say, the worst thing has happened
Yes,
to
I'm
me.
being very dramatic in this scene. I wish I was as confident walking around in a fucking thong as I was back then. Yeah, so this was a last-minute outfit fail because I had this cute, like, race car shirt and I wanted it sewn into a dress. And I said that I went to our usual tailor, who's usually really reliable. Do you remember that guy?
Yes.
And he was
He's
like
the
on,
dry cleaning guy too, right?
I don't know, but he was like on Pico or something. I didn't take my dry cleaning there, but you would go, it was this little old man and he had like this pedestal in the middle of his room and you go stand on the pedestal and he'd do your stuff. But he had bird cages all around the pedestal and like all these birds.
That's a different guy. Okay, I remember that.
Yeah, Birdman. And anyway, I made the mistake of like not trying the outfit on far enough ahead of time. I think I probably had it finished like right before. And I feel like the way they're cutting you trying to make you look very uninterested. Like it's reminiscent of that first episode where Crystal comes in the matching dress and you're like, huh?
Oh.
And so it's cutting you to make you look very uninterested. And I'm just going on and on. And I love my leftover from the night before shellacked hair. Like it's already done.
Mine's, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's crazy, but I like it. Mm-hmm. We're all very kind of hungover and tired and dragging this day, though.
Yeah, I say in one of the scenes that we look drag-astical. We were all saying that because we were just dragging ass. And I'm trying the shirt on, and it looks like it fits okay. It just kind of like smashes my butt a little bit. I hate clothes that smash my butt.
Yeah.
I feel so ripped off when my butt doesn't look big.
I don't think we needed the scene.
Yeah, I feel like, well, it wouldn't have gone with anything. It's kind of like a little world in and of itself because it shows us going to the race, but like nothing really happens. There's like a blip of the helicopter. It just doesn't really go with anything else. I don't think we needed it.
Yeah.
I think I was pushing hard, trying to act like my outfit dilemma was any drama.
But they do show us in the actual episode going by helicopter, don't they?
I don't think they show us going at all in the Hef's birthday episodes because it's just like the first episode's Casablanca night and the gifts, and the second is Hef's birthday, and it ends at Hef's birthday with like a snapshot of you post striptease and we're around the cake.
For some reason, I thought that was in the actual thing. It would have been weird to start up at the next day and add another thing.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, I can see why they wanted to cover it because it seems like a big deal, but I feel like that would have had to be an episode on its own. You know what I mean? Like, it couldn't have gone with that other stuff.
I think racing or Playboy racing or something like that could have been a whole separate thing because there's another race car scene in here, and I feel like if somehow those all could have been combined into one episode, obviously with some other stuff, that would have made sense, but this wouldn't have made sense to tack on at the end of Hef's birthday.
Yeah, it just didn't really fit in anywhere. And we go to the race and we're all just hungover and we just want to eat junk food.
Yeah.
That's all we want out of life.
Yeah. Next one is for the next episode called Career Days, and it's tube socks.
Oh, yeah, tube socks. So we're talking about our careers and what we're doing. I'm very much into, like, licensing and merch and stuff. And I had, like, a line of tube socks I sold on my website because I always wore tube socks on the show. And those actually sold really well. Like, people would make fun of me over the years for, like, selling socks. I don't know why that's supposed to be embarrassing, but they sold really well. Like, I had a really good side hustle going with that.
Yeah.
And it's just, like, a little scene of me doing tube socks. I think it's cute, but I probably just think that because it's about me and because I love tube socks. I think they probably didn't use it because I feel like in the first couple seasons they're just not crazy about me, period. And they also probably thought it looked commercially, like a commercial. Like, we don't want her here just plugging her own shit. If it's not a Playboy product, bye-bye.
Yeah.
They didn't want to give that to me.
So I think that it should have been included. I think it's short, and I think we should have been able to promote things that we were doing or working on.
Yeah, because why not?
But the reason I think it didn't get used is because it's not a Playboy product, and we're going to cut it because we're not here to promote.
They don't want to help
her
me out
side
that much.
hustles.
Yeah.
The next one is the next scene I was just talking about. This is called Kendra Andretti.
You know what? Tell me about it because I didn't even watch it because that's the mood I was in.
Well, Kendra's goes outside and sees the Playboy race car that was parked there, and she's all excited about it, and she sits in it, and she's talking about what a crazy driver she is, and then she's just like pretending she's driving it, and then an employee goes walking by and she pretends like she hits him, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the scene. Could have been left. Well, I said it could have been left in because it's short.
Yeah. That would have been a good scene because I'm assuming you can't really connect it with any other day. Does it appear that it could happen any random day?
It appears it could happen any day.
I feel like that would have been a good one for them to keep on deck for like the times further down the line when Kendra would just refuse to participate and you just feel like, damn, one of the three is really missing from this show. It could have been good for something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to vote no because that's the mood I'm in.
Yeah. Well, I think it could have been used if we were doing a whole race episode.
Yeah. I'm actually, when you get to the whether or not we think it should have been used, why they didn't use it, I'm actually shocked they didn't because I always feel like they just tried to like pack footage of her in.
I'm surprised they didn't use it because it's the Playboy race car. And I feel like, did anybody even ever see that or know that existed?
I don't think so.
So I'm shocked that they didn't use it. One, because it's a Kendra scene. And two, that it was Playboy branded, and it would have been a great way to promote the team and the car.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know what else? You guys, we got so much BTS information over the past few months. There was another thing, too, where we saw a memo between Kevin and one of the executives at E he was an executive who was on the show, and he wasn't on the show for the full run of the series, just the first couple seasons. But they were talking about the Christmas episode, which is the first episode of season 3. And this was during a time Kendra didn't want to participate. And this executive was bugging Kevin, like, we need more Kendra in this episode. And he talked about something else. And then he'd go, I miss Kendra. And it was almost kind of like weird. And Kevin was the one pushing back against it. He was like, no, Kendra's not participating. We don't have it. We don't need it. We don't need this extra thing with Kendra. Hef is dating 3 separate women, not triplets. They don't all have to be the same. And that was very eye-opening for me because I always blamed the pushing Kendra in more on Kevin.
Can you believe we're already looking at Halloween and fall decorations? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it, but I feel like summer's like almost over already, and it's time to start shifting my wardrobe from summer to fall, and it's always a challenge. Luckily, Quint offers timeless and high-quality items I adore, ensuring my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. Like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part, all Quint's items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quint cuts the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quint only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I recently got my first cashmere zip-up hoodie, and I'm loving it. Like, I could practically live in it. It's lightweight, but still keeps me warm. It's a dream. Plus, over the summer, I had the cutest little Quint shorts, like drawstring, so comfortable, and also some matching sweatpants, and I'm in love with them and the quality. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quint's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/nextlevel for free shipping on your order and 365 days returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/nextlevel to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/nextlevel. Okay, so this next one is from the same episode, Career Days, and it's Tomorrow's Yesterday. And this is where Crystal and Kendra are coming with me to go see this movie that I did.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it because I knew you did a couple movies, like in your early days at the mansion, but I didn't really know anything about this one. Tell us, like, when did you do this?
Gosh, when did it happen exactly? I don't remember when the exact time frame that I did it was, but I just remember I shot it over on Fairfax. There's this, like, Irish pub.
Uh-huh.
And
cute.
It was, like, in the middle of the night shoot because we had to wait till the bar was closed, so we didn't start till probably, like, almost 2 a.m. And it was just one night, I think, that we did it. And, yeah, it was one of a few that I had done.
It's really cute.
But anyway, they come with me. We get in the limo. We're heading to the premiere. We crack open a bottle of Cristal.
Do you notice they're playing like bootleg Hooray for Hollywood music in the background?
Yeah, I did.
Was the premiere in a restaurant? It looks like you guys walked in a restaurant.
It was at CineSpace, I think.
Oh.
So it's like a restaurant / theater /
You know what it reminded me of when you guys are walking in? And there seems to be a moment of surprise. Like you guys are like, are we going to a restaurant or something? Or like it wasn't what you expected. It reminded me of...
What?
Indie fans.
Oh my God.
Okay, you guys. So this was like late in our Girls Next Door career. This was when like Angel and a bunch of other girls were living at the Playmate House. And Angel had just come from Vegas and she had had some kind of gig where she was hired by somebody. I think it was this movie, to go around on the Vegas Strip and ask people about Indiana Jones and what they think of Indiana Jones and like what that film means or something. So then she was invited to the premiere of this movie. And this was the exact same time that Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull was coming out. So we thought we were invited to the premiere of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. And even though we got to go to some cool events with Hef, we were not A-listers who were invited to like every cool premiere by any means. And I love Indiana Jones. I was excited to see this movie. We thought we were the shit. We got dressed in these like khaki form-fitting dresses. We all got fedoras. On one hand, I'm talking about wanting to go to A-list premieres and I'm dressing like a fucking cornball. But anyway, that's where we were at this time in our lives. So we all had like matching dresses and hats. And we were so excited. It was like me, you, Angel, Kayla Collins, and Juliana Marino. And we got like a car service to take us there. And then we find out that we're going to like Newport Beach,
which
or
takes
something
forever
and
to
I'm
get
like,
to.
That's a weird place for the
I was
Indiana
thinking it
Jones
too. I'm
premiere.
like,
It's not at
God.
Grauman's Chinese. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? And then, well, it was the car service was sent to us, and there were like books in the back of the seat, and it said like Newport Beach Film Festival. And I'm like, that's a weird place for this to premiere. So we're on our way. And somehow we find out if... And there's like two different cars. And like, I think Angel, Juliana, and Kayla are in one car and me and you are in another. And we find out like on our way there that we're not going to the Indiana Jones premiere, that it's a premiere for this really low budget documentary called Indie Fans, which is about people who are diehard Indiana Jones fans. And I remember when you found that out, you were like so horrified. You were like, I want to go back.
Yeah.
We need to turn around.
I did not want to go.
And I was like, fuck, we're already halfway there. We have to do this. So we go, and we were sitting in like a little diner before or after, or like on our way where we got all together with the other girls. And we were like dying, and Angel is dying. And she's like, I'm so sorry, you guys. I apologize so much. I had no idea. Like, I thought this was a real movie. So we go in, we do the red carpet, the step and repeat, Indie Fans. And then we sit in the balcony of this theater. And we all want to leave, but we feel like we can't because like Angel knows the guy who made the movie, and he wanted to like talk to us after.
And he had like pictures he wanted us to do and like all kinds of stuff. So we couldn't like get out.
Yeah, he wanted to pile on this extra stuff after. And then we were like sneaking out one by one, and like Kayla left her hat and she's like, you guys, get my hat, like texting us or something. So we leave and we go take refuge in like a diner next door, and we're like dying, and Juliana was like
mortified.
Yeah, mortified. And she was teasing Angel, and she goes, your name is Angel Jones. And I'm not kidding you. Like, we called her Angel Jones for so long that when we started doing Holly's World, we thought it would be funny if her stage name for the show was Angel Jones, but like Kevin wouldn't let us. But yeah, that was Indie Fans.
Yeah.
So when I see you guys walking in, and I forget what it was in the scene, but something gave the hint that you guys were like, huh, where are we? I thought.
Yeah, because we're like, wait, what is this, a restaurant? Because I'd never been to that place before. I've heard of it since, and I know it's like a thing, but I was like, wait, what is this? This is like a restaurant? This is like I don't get it. So we were really confused. And then we go in, and immediately I'm doing an interview, so that was exciting. And then they put Coolio in our booth with us.
Yeah.
Which is cool because I meet him, and later I do Celebrity Paranormal Project with him. So there's a few run-ins in my life with Coolio. But the MC... The MC says, oh my God, you guys, we've got Ludacris in the house. And the camera like pans around the room and everything's like quiet.
Stop it.
And then they show Coolio and he's like, and it shows our table and we're like all,
oh my God.
And then I whisper to Crystal, I think they meant Coolio was here. And then she's like, I think you're right. And then a few minutes later, he goes, oh, guess what? We also have Coolio in the audience.
Oh my God, saved his ass.
No, we all knew Ludacris was not there, that he fucked up. We all knew it.
That is funny.
And Coolio did not look
amused.
No, at all. So I was so embarrassed for whoever was hosting, whoever was putting on the event,
it was the
everybody.
Same guy that was at the pet fashion show that was like, Jeannie, where's your basketball? So why didn't Hef and I go to this?
I don't know.
Was it like during a buffet, perhaps?
No, I don't think so, but it might have been like a manly night or a card night or something. But I don't know why you didn't go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's weird. I guess I was protesting.
Yes.
But I really like your scene when they show the scene of your movie because you are just giving this guy like a face.
Attitude.
Yeah, withering looks.
And I say I was so nervous to watch myself, and honestly, I'm so nervous to watch myself, and I'm so nervous to watch myself in this episode. I was like, oh my God, my palms are sweating just like watching this scene again.
That's so
like,
funny.
I'm grossed out. But I liked it because it shows Kendra being like totally supportive. Like she did not have to go to that event at all. But I do think it should have been cut. I think it's way too long. I like the idea that there was like so much camaraderie and support there. And even Hef seemed like giddy and like happy for me. He wasn't going to go, but he seemed like happy for me. And I think the scene, Coolio Ludacris thing was funny.
You know what I think this could have been good as a cold open if they would have edited it a little more succinctly and made the point of the scene and the joke of the scene the Coolio Ludacris thing. I think it could have been a cute cold open.
Yeah, I think it could have been used, and I like that it was possibly used or could have been used for the career episode because I feel like it shows
been better because Porsche isn't really career. Like I know they were trying to spin it like, oh, you're so successful now you can get a Porsche.
Right.
But this would have been more career. And as a Capricorn, I appreciate that.
Yeah, but they took it out in place for the Porsche, so.
I mean, I can see how the Porsche goes better as like a lengthier storyline for you. And it's visual and it's like...
I think it's more visual.
And it's more, it's aspirational for the viewer and stuff like that. But this would have been such a cute cold open, I think, if it was edited to make that joke at the end.
Yeah, but I'm glad it's at least a deleted scene.
Yeah, they probably didn't include it because it's like, oh, well, Hef wasn't there, and let's do the Porsche instead.
And you're not there, too.
I don't think they gave a shit, but thank you.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. With social media, we can really get caught up in like other people's lives and comparing our lives to theirs and wishing we looked like somebody else or had the lifestyle somebody else had. And comparison is the thief of joy. And it's easy to envy other people's lives. It might look like they have it all together on their Instagram, but in reality, they probably don't. Therapy can help you focus on what you want instead of what others have, so you can start living your best life.
Therapy has been such a beneficial thing in my life. I feel like I need it for so many things like mom guilt, feeling like I'm not doing enough, working on my social skills, things like that. It just helps me out so much, and I'm so grateful for therapy. Therapy's also helped me with learning positive coping skills, learning how to set boundaries, even organization skills, and helping me prioritize different things in my life. Therapy isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/nextlevel to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/nextlevel. The next scene is called Butt Cleavage.
I really like this scene. I'm in your room and I have really, really low rise Frankie B's on. And I'm talking about butt cleavage and how, like, I think there should be dresses with butt cleavage. It's the new thing. I want to make, like, jewelry that's, like, hanging down on your back and it dangles down toward your butt and stuff like that. And I remember talking to Hef about, like, how cool I think it would have like, a butt cleavage dress. And he was so grossed out and so offended and said I absolutely couldn't do that. But there was a woman back in the day in the 50s who used to do that. Her name was Vicky Dugan, and she would wear these dresses that were really low cut in the back, and she looked very elegant. But nobody else was doing this, so she was kind of like a celebutante for this.
Yeah.
Because she would go out in these really low cut to the butt dresses, and she was one of the inspirations for Jessica Rabbit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did it actually show butt crack or just all the way to the point?
Well, both ways. It would be all the way to the point because, like, this was the 50s and she
Yeah.
probably couldn't have been photographed. But there were ones that would have, like a keyhole cut out or something that would show, like, a little bit of butt crack.
Oh.
But I think butt cleavage is fantastic. And I really like the scene. And I feel like it's showing, like, my sense of humor and my personality. And I'm just being, like, normal in it. But I feel like they would have used it if Kendra would have done that scene.
I think so too.
But for me, they're like, no, this isn't Holly, or the Holly they wanted.
Yeah.
I don't think we, like, need it in the show, don't get me wrong, but I like it for a scene for me. And I like my Princess Leia shirt.
And then cut to now, too, all the scrunch butt bottoms that, like, accentuate your butt crack and, like, how popular all that is. Like, I feel like that definitely could have been a trend-setting thing back then.
Totally.
I think it's really cute for a deleted scene. I think, I don't think it was needed, but I think they could have found a place to use it if they really wanted to.
Yeah, I don't think it was needed in the show. I do like that it exists, though, because I think it shows me being a little more, like, normal me than is usually shown, so.
Yeah.
There we go.
So then the next episode is Mutiny on the Booty, and the first deleted scene is Sweet Inspirations.
And we are meeting with Arnie about our second Playboy photo shoot. And I like how when you talk about King Kong, they pause and show, like, King Kong graphics and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you talk about how you want to do this red wall and steps for Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, and that you're going to do the costume and accessories, and Arnie is so surprised. You're like, well,
it's
there's
so
not
funny.
that much to them.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be naked, so.
And then, yeah, they switch to me, and I'm talking. And do you notice that Kendra's not here at all until it gets to her describing? So she was obviously, like, super, super late, didn't show up for most of the meeting, and then came down at 0 hour just to, like, give her thing really quick.
Yeah, I didn't even think she was going to be in this scene for most of the scene.
Yeah. And then, you know, she's talking, of course, sports and football. And I didn't realize that it was Arnie's idea to do the Heisman Trophy pose.
I didn't realize it either. I thought that was her idea.
Yeah, because in the scene, they make it look like she just comes up with it.
Yeah, and I always had that ingrained in my brain that was something she really wanted to do.
Yeah, but Arnie actually came up with it.
How quickly
before.
I forget. Mm-hmm. And then I think I say, I don't know if Hef has ever let anyone art direct their own shoot before. Mm-hmm. Which I wonder. I mean, certainly there would have been celebrity pictorials where to even get the celebrity to pose, they might want to weigh in on certain things. But I don't know who else had been like this hands-on in a shoot before.
Yeah.
That I know of. You know what's interesting is this happened like in 2014, so like way after the fact, and like Playboy, I don't even know if it was 2014. It might have been later because I feel like this was the era where Playboy was like kind of under new management. Like Hef was still around, but you could tell he wasn't really like pulling the strings anymore. And there was a celebrity on the cover, and I saw her tweet that she got to conceptualize and direct her own cover, and she's the first bunny to ever direct and conceptualize her own cover. And I'm not even going to say who the woman is because I'm not hating on her at all, because I truly believe they told her that and she believes that. But it's just like my gripe about being like erased from Playboy history. And we were talking on our Patreon about like the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders documentary and how cute I thought it was that they always talk about that moment where the cheerleaders first got famous, because the one cheerleader, and they say her full name, winked at the camera. And I'm like, that's so cute that they remember little things like that, because I feel like in the Playboy world, a lot of times you just kind of get erased. And that's one of the things is for 3 of our covers, like I conceptualized and directed them. Plus the, photo shoots that we each did our own chunks of, we conceptualized and directed. Mm-hmm. So she's not the first person to do that, but I'm sure they told her she was, and that's annoying to me.
Yeah, it is annoying.
Because it's just like you get completely like bulldozed and erased. And
it was on the show, so a lot of people know we did that.
Like that's what's even crazier to me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But, I mean, I've said it before, I'm super offended about how Playboy thinks they could just erase us, and did.
Totally.
I'm super offended by it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I'll ever, fully be okay with that.
It's just gross.
So, I think they should have left the scene in.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, I think if it's like they didn't have enough time, I think it's fine that it's out, but I think it's good.
I think it's important to show how involved we were, and now,
Yeah,
like, even after that story you just
totally.
told, like, I feel like even more reason why it should have been left in, because people
Totally.
want to just act like that didn't happen.
Absolutely. I agree. Why do you think it wasn't left in? Just time? Or do you think there was?
Time.
Yeah, I think so too.
And it wasn't a visual scene,
Yeah.
really. It's not. There's nothing special about the scene that makes it cute or funny or.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think time. All right, the next deleted scene is called Hot Chocolate.
I
And
just wrote, I hate this scene so much. That was my only note.
okay, well, it talks about we're talking about the first morning of our shoot, and we're going to be shooting on the round bed. And Kendra catches me in the hall, and we're talking in there, and she said she's not feeling well. She feels bloated and disgusting, and she's on her period, and she's cranky. We go down to the office. We see Hef. And then as we're leaving the office, Kendra asks me how you're supposed to pose naked with a thing in your thing. And I
Thing
tell
in your
her,
thing.
you twist it up and it like curls up and goes inside. And
I
she's,
say I hate this scene because there's things later in it that make me gag. But I think this scene is actually really interesting. And I think people genuinely have questions and did back then. Like, what happens if you're on your period and
yeah,
you're posing totally nude? Like, I think that's valid. And I think that would have been so interesting to leave into the show. And when we're done, we can get to why we think it was cut. But
yeah, that's what I put too. But then Kendra says she's never posed naked while on her period, and I ask her, "What do you need? Do you need like chocolate or like what do you?" And then Carlina comes over with candy bars, and then they have Kendra eating the candy bars, and she's chomping, and then they do the burp and all the gross
God,
noises.
that's why I hate this scene so much, just because they put those stupid noises that make me want to gag.
But I think it should have been added.
I have a half and half. I think the first part where you're talking about how do you pose when you're on your period definitely should have been in there. I think it's informational. I think it's interesting. I think it would have been the water cooler talk the next day because nobody was talking about that on TV back then. They could have left the sound effects they put over Kendra eating chocolate.
For
Don't put that
sure.
in there, please. Why do you think it was cut?
Well, first, can I just continue to say that I think it
Yeah.
should have been added because our audience was mostly female, and I think it was super relatable. And I think, like you said, it's a very genuine question. Like, how does that happen? What do they do?
Yeah.
And I think that they didn't use it because they're afraid of grossing guys out.
Me too. I think they're prudy about nothing on this show except somebody mentions a period and they're like,
Yes. Yes.
ew.
And I feel like it's so real and so relatable, and every woman has to, like, do things when she's on her period that, how am I going to get through this today? And is cranky and bloated and feels disgusting and has cramps and stuff. And I think it's just so relatable, and it absolutely should have been left in.
Do you think there's anything, because I agree with you, it was probably somebody at E, but do you think there was anything with Hef, like, I don't want to ruin the fantasy of my magazine with period talk?
Oh, I think that too. I think that he doesn't want a guy to look at the magazine and be like, "Oh, this bitch is on her period right now. She's bleeding. It's gross.
Yeah.
Ew. I think I can see the string." Like, 'cause that's how guys are. They're just like so freaked out by
Yeah.
it. I definitely think he thought it might like ruin the sales of the magazine or something because nobody wants to see a girl on her period.
Yeah. Wow.
So I think it came from a lot of different directions, but I think it was definitely males being like freaked out by the period.
I think you're right.
Okay, so this next one is called Well Developed. And Hef wanted us to shoot some additional content over at the Playboy house, the Playmate house, and we do some photos on the pool table.
I didn't even see this one. It's not on YouTube, and it's on my missing DVD.
Oh no!
Which I'm bummed I didn't see it because I know the pictures you're talking about, and I think those pictures are fucking cute.
Yeah.
And I hate it that they were never used for anything because they were just really colorful.
They're very bright and colorful. And I like my hair, and I'm like, I
And
think we all look cute.
all look hot in those pictures. Like I have
Yeah.
tiny little Polaroids of it. Maybe I could post like censored versions on the. They'd have to be real censored though, like the one I'm thinking of with a pool cue.
Yeah, I know my boobs are like full out in all of them. So
But they were so cute.
yeah, they're really, really cute.
I didn't fuck a pool cue, guys.
And we're shooting in the round chair too. And then we shoot
Those pictures are cute. I think
Yeah.
I might have posted kind of a corner of a Polaroid of that.
Yeah,
Or like peekaboo.
I think you did too. And then it shows shooting in Half Sped a little bit, and then us in the white lace undies in the studio. And it's just all these like kind of like quick of us doing all these different photo shoots and stuff. And then Arnie tells Kendra to like loosen up or something. I forget exactly what he says, but and if you listen to it, it does kind of sound like this. She thinks he says, "I see your tampon."
Oh no.
And she goes, and then all of a sudden you see Laurent. He like goes right in front of the camera laughing, like he must have been standing right next to the camera, and he like went right in front of the camera laughing.
I am so sad that I don't get to see this scene.
Yeah,
I know I have another DVD somewhere though, so I can find it. But this sounds like a scene I would love.
I think it was cute and fun. I don't think we needed it, especially if we're not going to put the period stuff in at the beginning. We definitely don't need that in there. But I think we have enough of the photo shoots. We have so much photo shoot stuff that this would have been like not necessary at all.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those ones like the Butler's in Hef's room where you don't need it in the show, but it's so great that you have it as a deleted scene.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these deleted scenes, I'm like, that was even boring as a deleted scene.
Right. You know? Yeah, I think so too. This one is called Coming Out Party, and this is celebrating our second cover and pictorial at Social House.
Yeah, and I thought this party was so visual. Like we have a whole gallery of it on the Patreon, and it's just, even the still pictures I think look great.
Mm-hmm. And it shows us on the red carpet answering questions. And one of the questions is a secret to being confident while butt naked with a bunch of people around. And then you were talking about how exciting it is to walk down the red carpet, especially when the party is for you.
Yeah, I really felt appreciated at this party. And I don't know who was in charge of everything that happened. I don't know if it was Playboy or the sponsor, 'cause it was sponsored by Stoli, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who did it, but they really, I felt, went all out with the details.
They
and it
did.
was like a really cool, fun party. Like we had these drink menus with our names and faces on it and drinks that they themed after us. And I just felt really appreciated.
People were asking on the message on our Patreon how much input we had into those drinks, and I don't remember creating them at all. Do you?
No, I don't think we did, but it was one of those things we showed up and it's like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
That, you know, they did this for us.
So I say they usually ask the same old questions, so it's kind of fun when someone comes up with something new. And then somebody asks, Bridget, I heard you're going to the Space Academy.
Which is random, and they do a really cute graphic of you in an astronaut suit. But how fucking weird, because you end up with like an astronaut son. And you hadn't met him at this time yet. And it's weird to look back and there's all these weird things, or like in commentary during the Loveline episode where I'm like, you need to go on a date with the space guy. And I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like I just love eerie coincidences like that. But you know, I don't believe in coincidences. So I think there's something bigger at play.
But it is weird looking back on it. Like I was like, wait, what?
Like what are the chances?
Yeah. And then you say that you're really happy that he liked our ideas because that's something mental and not physical.
Which is so true. I was so thirsty to just have something to do and be something other than like a quote unquote pretty face.
Yeah.
So thirsty.
And Too Short came to the event.
And before they even show Too Short, they say all these celebrities come out. And guess who the first person they focus in on is?
Who?
Who's the celebrity they always show?
Bill Maher.
Yes. Isn't it funny how like people can have like these really long-winded careers? Like Bill Maher has a career in like comedy and he does a podcast and all these shows and stuff. And they just pop up in weird ways. Like, does he know he's like a private joke on this podcast? Does Tucker Carlson know he's a private joke on this podcast?
No.
I know he doesn't know.
Does Bill Maher know he has like 52 credits on Girls Next Door?
His IMDb is packed.
Yeah. I think it should have been included. I feel like
Me too.
It was a party celebrating us. It was a party celebrating.
Okay, better than the Playboy Club at the Palms opening. Like, I don't know what the rest of the bulk of the episode would have been, but ending on that scene, that would have been the perfect season 2 closer.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, maybe it doesn't make sense. Like, if you would have shown the Palms before, you couldn't have shown us, like, signing our issue, maybe. I mean, maybe that kind of doesn't make sense. But I feel like that would have been the climactic close of season 2.
Yeah, I think it would have been way better.
Yeah. Do you think maybe they didn't use it because they didn't really know where to put it? Like maybe they didn't have it in time enough for Mutiny on the Booty? Because it would have been perfect ending for Mutiny on the Booty.
Would have been perfect. I don't think they could have had it in time, but
even a cold open, like even though I love that as a climax and the end of something, showing that party as a cold open could have been cool.
But I feel like as for the season, showing us at this party and having our own red carpet and our own big event and drinks named after and stuff should have been included in this show.
Totally.
And that's why I flooded our Patreon with photos from it, because I'm like, this was a special event. And this should have been on the show. So there's one last episode on this disc and only one deleted scene with it. It's San Diego or Bust. And it's when we go to the Whaley house.
Which was my favorite part of the San Diego trip. And it was legit scary. That woman in black scared the fuck out of me.
Me too.
I did not think she was real.
Yeah. Yeah, she gets up and we all scream. I would have loved it to be included.
Yeah.
I know that I talked about this scene a million times going, where is it? Why wasn't it in there? It was so good. How could you guys not use it? I think the reason they didn't use it is because this was about family and Kendra's family and us going to the Whaley house, and this scene just didn't fit into that narrative.
I think so too. I agree. I think they thought it's not a Halloween episode, so why are we doing something spooky? And it's not solely focused on like Kendra and her family. So I get why they didn't use it. Like the tone is off.
Yeah.
But I wish they would have, just because I had so much fun. So if you guys would like more content, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/girlsnextlevel. Check out our merch at girlsnextlevel.shop, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye. For more content, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/girlsnextlevel.